So I'm trying a new thing today where I'm gonna attempt to have the green screen behind me. But I just need it to be like fully in screen, and right now it's not. So hang on. These are just things that happen, I guess, when you try to do something new. But anyway, let's see. Okay, that's fully in frame. Microphone is working. Now we just can't move. Okay, finally. I'm sorry. Okay, it should be good now. It took me a second to get everything set up. But yeah, we should be good now. Okay, so for this, what I want to do today is something different. I've never done, I haven't done a video in a long time that's separate from logos, but I'm hoping you guys will bear with me and will like what I'm doing today. Okay, hang on. It's saying, does the audio sound good? I think it sounds good. For some reason, it's telling me it's a different audio than what I wanted. Okay, Yeti device, audio full. Audio input capture device, Apple. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's sounding pretty good to me. Okay, yeah, it's sounding fine to me, so I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and say that this is good. Okay, so we should finally be ready to start talking about what we're doing in this video. So, my idea for this video is actually to do a movie tier list. So what that is going to look like is, where is my other... Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want to look at movies that when they first, books, excuse me, that when they first came out, they were popular books, and then they got made into movies, and then somewhere along the lines, they decided to make that movie into or that book cover into a movie cover. So I'm thinking, I made this tier list, and it basically has every one on it that I could find. So I think what we could do is we can go through and I can read out each one that I found on here. And then I thought, like, if you all had any that you could think of, then I can add it on. Okay, perfect example. Does it have Maze Runner? It does not have Maze Runner. So why don't we go ahead and add that? So I'm going to look up Maze Runner cover. Okay, so here we go. We have the original one. I believe this is the original one. Let me see if we can find it on Amazon. Okay, I don't want... so this is the movie one. So we'll definitely grab that one. And then I want the original as well. So let's grab that one. And then we need a high quality one of the original. This should work. Let's see. This is Maze Runner book. Let's see if we can find it on Amazon. I don't want the one that has this like sticker on it though. That is the one from the movie. Okay, yeah, this one seems like they took the original cover and then made it a movie cover. So I want the original one, which is this. It just looks so blurry in that one. Definitely keep going in the comments if you have other ones. So I can go back to this, but these are the ones that I found. I was thinking like if it's something like Maze Runner or like I have Divergent, Hunger Games, Twilight, things like that on here that have a whole series, I think we probably can just do the main ones, or like the first one from the series. So we don't need to have like Breaking Dawn or anything like that. But if you have ones that are not on there, definitely go ahead and start shouting them out. And we can talk about why. Oh, look, someone already made one for us. Perfect. So I think what I need to do is hit edit. And then, since I made this earlier, so for current images, I can choose the one that I just downloaded. So it is called, who would have thought? It's called Maze Runner. Thank you everyone for joining in the chat. I apologize again for all of the technical difficulties at the beginning. I don't know do you guys like watch other people's lives? Do other people have technical difficulties at the beginning? Because I always have them. And I apologize. Okay, that looks good. Oh wait, so this is like actually the movie poster. So I want the book cover. So we need the one that has like the author's name on it. So I think this one has the author's name. Yeah. So this is the one I was trying to find actually. James Dashner. I actually never read this book, but my brother did and he really liked it. Okay, I was thinking about putting Harry Potter on there and then I realized that they never actually made movie cover books. Isn't that crazy? You would have thought that they definitely did. I know you're still waiting on Vintage Microsoft. Here's the thing, though, is Microsoft already has vintage logos, so. Let me do this. Okay, perfect. Okay, we have that. Oh, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, that's a good one. Okay, let's see. Okay. So obviously we have this one is the main one. And then let me see if I can find the movie cover one. So the thing that they call them is movie tie-in. So let's see if it has one. Okay. So that is something different. I wonder, maybe they didn't make one. So this is the movie trailer. I mean, movie poster. So maybe they didn't actually make a cover? Yeah, that's for the movie too. Okay, Cat and Dad. I feel like they didn't did they make I feel like they definitely wouldn't have remade the book to be like the movie since it's a cartoon. I mean, since it's a like illustrated. That's what I was trying to find. Okay, I'm thinking they might not have made this into a movie cover book. So they have like the movie diary, but I don't think that's the same thing as the book. So looks like they didn't make that one either. So that's good. Okay, let's see. I will look at Cat in the Hat, but I doubt they have it. But let's look. Okay, so they made a movie storybook, but it's not the same as the original one. So that makes sense that they would make like a companion one. It seems like that's what they did for Diary of the Wimpy Kid too. So, okay, I think the bad guys might be a good one. Okay, I don't know what that is, but let's look it up. Okay, did they make this into a movie? Okay, so here, this is the... oh yeah, now a major motion picture. Okay, let's look up... movie tie-in. Oh, okay, perfect. Movie. Oh, that's a movie novelization. So I feel like maybe because they're already cartoons, they don't remake the covers, because this looks like they just have the original cover. But that's a good thought, though. That definitely is the one that got me into a movie. I haven't heard about this, but I really like the animation style of some of these already. So, okay, hang on. Let's see. Someone said, okay, Bad Guys, Dork Diaries. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Hickperdlick. I probably totally pronounced that wrong. I'm so sorry. I know. Okay, Windows, right? I know what Cat in the Hat is. I was saying I don't know if they knew what it would be. Okay, let's go back. Someone said Dork Diaries. Okay, I couldn't find the movie cover for Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It wasn't in there. Unless let me look one more time. They call them movie tie-in covers, which I actually didn't know that. So I'm thinking this is a special edition cover. But I don't know that. I feel like it's like the same. So I wouldn't really like compare the two. You know what I mean? Okay, let's look up Dork Diaries. Did they make Dork Diaries into a movie? Oh, they did. Okay. So let's look up Dork Diaries book. This pink one is the first one, right? Or is it just this one? Oh, that's a set. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the pet one is the first one. Oh, wait, no, that says Dork Diaries 10. Dork Diaries 1. Okay, here we go. Okay, I thought it was pink. Okay, let's grab this one, and then let's see if they have a movie one. Okay. I'm thinking we might need to get away from the illustrated ones, because it feels like they don't actually change the books. Since like the cover, the characters on the inside aren't going to be different. You know what I mean? All right, let's go back. You guys are crazy. Okay, let's go back and look at the ones that I have in here already, and then see if we can. Okay, let's see if we can think of any more. Okay, so the main ones that I think of, like the young adult ones, we have Maze Runner, we have Twilight, we have Hunger Games, we have Divergent, we have Fault in Our Stars, we have. I ended up including The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. We have. Those are the main ones that I have for those. But I feel like. I don't feel like we're missing any. What do you think? Oh, Paddington? I don't think Paddington that they made. I'm thinking like we're doing more like. Let's try to focus more on like novels, I think. Would be the best way to do this. So I feel like I need to move this way a tiny bit for the camera. Oh, wait, can I just move the camera? There we go. Wait. Wait, which way do I need to be on? Okay, that's good. Okay, the one and only Ivan. Let's see what that is. Okay, and then let's see if there's a movie tie-in. Oh, okay, nice. This one's good. I've never seen this one, but I like the original better. But we'll get into that because, okay, so what I didn't go into is that I'm gonna be once we decide and pick all these, I'm gonna be ranking them on a tier list. So I'm actually gonna go through each one individually and give it a ranking between S and A tier. And then or between S and D tier, and then I'm actually going to use the audio from this exact recording for the video. So you guys can like look out for the edited version basically of this video. A lot of times I'll do lives and then I won't use the exact audio from it. I'll like re-script it. But for this one, I'm going to try to use the exact audio and the exact screen recording from this. So I think this will be a good way to, you guys can like see your input and stuff like immediately in next week's video. So I thought that was fun. Okay. Oh crap. Hang on one second. This is chaos. I'm so sorry. I need to call my partner because the car needs to be moved because street cleaning was today. Okay. Hi, can you go move the car? The meter's about to expire. Well, you can just go ahead and move it now. It's at 40, it's at 59. Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, let's see. Why did I get out of the edit mode? That doesn't make any sense if we're gonna do more. Okay, someone else suggested one. Dogman. Okay, let me look at that. Is that, if it's illustrated, is it illustrated? Because if it isn't, I think it would probably, I'm just going to assume that they don't have one based on everything else we've gotten. Okay. Well, I will look it up for you. Would you look at that, you guys? It's illustrated. But just to be safe, we'll see if they have a movie tie-in book. And I don't think so. Unfortunately. Okay, let's go. I think that we are good on this one. What do we think? Are we good for me to go ahead and start my ranking, my tier list ranking, and then you guys can either agree or disagree with me in the chat. How about that? Are we good to go ahead and start doing that? What do we think? I think I'm going to say that we're good to go ahead and start doing that. Okay, so we have a lot here. And basically what I want to go through is I ranked all these tiers. So we have S, A, B, C, and then D tier is like the flop of the flops. So obviously I put J.K. Rowling here just because, as we know, she's been flopping pretty hard recently in terms of her commentary on Twitter about trans rights and the LGBTQ community. And also apparently her new novel sucks. So I made her be the name of the floppiest tier on here. Oh, okay. Yes. That's a good one. Percy Jackson. Okay, let's do that real quick. Why'd you have to come in here right at that, right when we were just about to start and give me a really good one? Okay, this is the cover that I knew when I was a kid. And then that's okay. Let's look at movie. It's like really blurry. Okay. There we go. These are also really blurry. What the heck? Oh, okay, look, someone already made it for us. I like when that happens. When someone else just already has made it at some point in their life. And it just popped up just right there. Okay, hang on. Oh wait, this one's not the book cover. Again, that's the movie cover. Okay, hang on. There we go. I mean, that's the movie poster. You guys love Percy Jackson? Did you like the movie? Did they make more than the first movie? I honestly did not like the first movie, and I didn't even try watching more. If they did make more. Something tells me that they made the movies, they made the first movie, and then they ended up changing it. Or they not changing it, but they ended up did they end up like canceling the last one or something? I'm not actually fully sure. Okay. I think we are going to basically say we're done. And if you have any last things to say. Okay, yeah. So they made it up to the second one. That's what I thought. If you have any last ideas, shout them out now or forever hold your peace. Because we are about to get the show on the road. Okay, so for those that are maybe just joining. Oh, that's cool. There's a show coming out on Disney Plus about Percy Jackson. I did not know that. Okay, so I think let's leave it at that and we'll start. Okay, so basically, the way that I want to do this is I have all my tiers here, S through D. Normally, D is like supposed to be like the flop of them all. So I ended up actually naming this one J.K. Rowling just because she's been flopping pretty hard recently with her stance on trans women. And also, I heard her new book is bad. So I thought it'd be funny just to name the like flop category J.K. Rowling. So first and foremost, I just wanted to say that normally I have always been the type of person that like doesn't really like the movie covers of books because I just feel like it looks like it's a movie. So it like looks like it should be on a movie poster as opposed to a book. It should be on a screen as opposed to a book. And normally I feel like a lot of books that do well that like they say never judge a book by its cover, but I really do think that a lot of books that do well have good covers. So I definitely think that the movie versions kind of like cheapen it. They also, I feel like a good part of reading a book is that they describe the characters and you kind of get this vision in your head of what they look like, but they don't actually explicitly show and unless it's like an animated or a illustrated book, they don't actually show what these characters look like in the book anywhere. So when you have the exact actress playing these people directly on the book, on the cover in front of you, I think that really makes it so that you can't bring your own imagination into what these characters or what these characters are looking like, if that makes sense. So I think that what makes a good cover, obviously, is it has a good font. It has recognizable symbols that may or may not be like from within the book. And also, I just think I love like when a cover is like illustrated or has a really good photograph on it. So a lot of these I think have really good book covers to begin with, and then the movie covers maybe made them worse. Or were worse than the original ones, but I think some of these and some rare ones actually do a really good job of taking elements from the first book cover and putting that into the second one. So I'll definitely take that into account. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this one first is American Psycho. And I actually think that they did a really good job with the movie book cover. So basically, we have Christian Bale here, but you can't really see what he looks like. And it's definitely a photo, but they kind of had somebody go in and actually illustrate it after the fact and stylize it. And I think they did a really good job of making it look similar to the first one, but without it actually being just a headshot of someone from the movie like a lot of these are. So I'm actually going to put this one in A tier. Okay, this one is Annihilation. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but it's actually a really good movie, in my opinion. I think it's on Netflix now, but we recently watched it. But I didn't realize that the initial book cover was so good. Like, it's actually great. And it has this illustration of this plant, and it's kind of like about this other dimension that has this crazy plant and animal life in it. And I think the font choice plus the illustrations on it are great. The movie cover shows me literally none of that, and it just looks like a bad movie poster. So I honestly think because of how much the first one slayed and how poorly the last one is, I'm going to put this in J.K. Rowling tier. Okay, this one is As I Lay Dying. I don't actually love the first one, and I don't like the second one. But I don't think the second one necessarily flopped super hard. I actually haven't read this book, so I'm going to put this one in C. Okay, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I do like the original cover, but I think they did a good job of keeping the cover playful for the second one, for the movie poster, keeping these kind of like fun fonts in here, but also being a little bit more whimsical and artistic with the choice. Instead of making it look just like a movie poster with the floating heads, they actually took the time to like make some color choices, some design choices. So I think I'm going to put this one in B. Okay, next is Cloud Atlas. The original book cover wasn't all that cool anyway, but they did that thing that posters always love to do where they just put big floating head and they make a pyramid of floating heads, and it just is not amazing. And I think this movie was really cool. I'm sure the book is really good too, and I think they could have done so much more with this book version. And just because it has the floating heads, I'm going to have to put this in the flop J.K. Rowling. Okay, next is Coraline. I have read this one and seen the movie. I actually love the original one. However, I also really like the book version, the movie version. I think that this silhouette with the moon and like this creepy tree hand really does evoke a sense of creepiness that the movie and the book have. And I think they did a good job of capturing the essence of the first cover, but also showing you what the movie is going to look like. So I kind of wish that they took the red Coraline outline and just put that down here instead of the movie version of the logo. But overall, I like this one. I'm going to put this one at S tier. Okay, next is Where the Crawdads Sing. I loved this book, and I love the cover. The color of it is just so iconic. I know it when it's on the shelf, and also I like the placement of everything, like with the water at the bottom, the person in the rowboat, the trees, the color of the sky. I love this cover as a cover. So the movie version, I don't necessarily love it. I do like that they tried to be a little more stylized with it, like the top of her head blends into the water, which has got the bow, and like the color of the actual text is the color of the old book. So I will give it points. It's not bad, but I don't think it does the original cover much justice. So I'm going to put this one at B. Okay, this one is called Dead Until Dark. I'm actually not really familiar with this one. It just came up when I was searching for it. I like the original cover. The movie version looks to me like it's like it looks like a bad romance novel, even though the original one doesn't look like it has anything to do with that. So I'm going to put this one at C. Okay, then we have Nicholas Sparks's Dear John. Nicholas Sparks has a very distinct cover style for all of his older books, but I really don't think that this does it too much. Like, I don't think either of them does it too much justice, but I do like the font choice for this one. And I remember this book, this like movie poster came out, and I just had the biggest crush on Channing Tatum. So I liked this poster a lot. So I think I'm going to put it at B just because of the memories. Okay, Divergent, I really don't think they did a good job of capturing the essence of the first book. It kind of has the same colors, but this really was trying really hard on the CGI elements, and I just don't love it. So I'm actually going to put this one at C tier as well. All right, Ella Enchanted, the original book cover, I remember this. I never read it, but I remember it vividly being on the shelves. And this just makes it look like a horrible Disney Channel. The movie's actually pretty good, but this makes it look like a horrible Disney Channel cover of like a companion book to a Disney Channel movie. And I really don't like this one. I think I'm going to have to put this one at J.K. Rowling tier. Okay, this one is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. I loved this book. I could not put it down. And the ending, if you haven't seen it or read it, is a big twist. I do. Excuse me. There's some water. I love the cover of the original book. I also love the cover of the book, of the movie version of the book. It really does a good job of like showing you one of the actors that's going to be in it, but it's still this artistic close-up of their face. And it also has the words Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close across the hands, just like the original book cover. And hands have one of the main characters in the book actually has tattoos on the inside of his hands because he's deaf. And so one says yes and one says no. And I think this does a really good job of like showing you the hands look kind of tattooed. I love this one. I'm going to put this one at S tier. Gone Girl, this is a weird moment where I think the book, the movie book looks kind of better than the original one. All of Gillian Flynn's books have that name really big above the name of the book, and I really don't think that it does a great job of explaining what it is, whereas this one looks really good. The only thing I don't love that when you look at this up close, you can see that it's Ben Affleck, and I don't like that, and that brings it down a little bit, but overall, that's a great book cover. I would read it. I'm putting it at A. Game of Thrones, I do like that they manipulated the logo ever so slightly to make it better for screen, and I like that they used that one on this and that they have the Iron Throne. I would have rather it had none of the characters in there and just had the Iron Throne, but I think this did a good job of bringing all the elements from the first one onto the movie version, or in this case, TV show version. So I'm actually going to put this, got the cat joining us, I'm actually going to put this at A tier as well. All right, this is The Hobbit. I really, really like the cover of the original, and I think this just really looks like it's fanfare for the people that love the movies, and I just don't like this very much. I'm going to put it at C. Okay. I do think, actually, Hunger Games did a really good job. They didn't just plaster Jennifer Lawrence's face on the front of it like a lot of these do, and it still kept the Mockingjay pin as the main focal point. They just made it a little bit cooler, a little bit more CGI. But honestly, like, if they took the same font from the original and put it on this one, I wouldn't even notice too much of a difference. I actually might like this one better than the original one. So I think this one, to me, deserves a spot in the S tier as well. Okay, the I, Robot movie and book, I've never seen or read this, but I really like the original cover, and I really hate. This just tells me a sign of the times when it came out. The I doesn't read really much as an I. It has Will Smith so big right there. I really don't like this one. I'm going to have to put it at... Ooh, do I want to put it at J.K. Rowling, or do I want to put it at C tier? I think I might honestly put it at J.K. Rowling because I don't like this. Okay, Life of Pi, I actually really, really like. I think they did a really good artistic job of recreating the book cover for a movie version. And I like the tiger over top of the people. And I honestly think the colors on this represent the colors that are in the movie. And it would stand out more on a shelf to me than the original one. So I'm going to put this at A tier. Lord of the Rings, they did the same thing as The Hobbit. It's just, they put the main character so big right on the front. I don't like knowing what they look like. It doesn't look like a movie cover, a book cover. It looks like a movie. So I'm going to put this in C as well. Okay, The Notebook, the original cover is so boring. It's literally just a bad photo of a porch. So I think the movie cover actually in this one does a better job at portraying what the book is going to be about. And also you can like kind of make out that it's who the actors are, but not really. So I'm actually going to put this one at B. I don't like either cover. Let me set that record straight. But I do think it did a better job than the original. So that's why I'm going to put it at B. Okay, this one's called On the Road. I'm not really familiar with this one. It just came up when I was looking at them, but I don't really love the first one, and I actually do like the second one. So I'm going to put this in the same category as the last one, where like neither of them are super great, but I actually think the movie one did a better job than the original book one. So I'll put that one at B. Okay. Next, this is Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's kind of hard to see here, but the original book was like this like chartreuse green, and it just had Perks of Being a Wallflower really small at the top. And to me, it kind of evoked the sense of like that they kind of didn't fit in at the parties they were going to, and they just felt like they were a wallflower. And I like that. I think they kind of did a version of the movie cover where they recreated that, but this is the one that I found, and it's not bad, but it does look a lot like a movie cover, and I just don't love it, so I'm going to put that one at C. Okay, Pride and Prejudice, they never really make good covers for these old books, but the movie version is not good either. I don't like putting all these in C, but I honestly think I'm going to have to put this one at C as well. Okay, this one is called Revolutionary Road, and I love the original cover, and I hate the movie cover. It's so boring. It looks like it's trying to copy The Notebook a little bit, and it didn't try at all to like match the style, match the colors, match the font, anything of the first one. So I'm gonna have to put this one at J.K. Rowling. Okay, Sharp Objects. Love, love, love the show. I actually haven't read the book, but I think for me, the original cover is really good. You can't really see it, but it has a razor, and on that razor, it has the author's name. But this one is one of those times that I think having the character on it doesn't do a bad job, just because they kind of made it look like, if you can see it, like it's an old painting almost, like with cracks running through it. And I also love the wallpaper choice in the back and the placement of the Sharp Objects logo with the author at the top. I think this one to me might honestly be S tier just because I love how it looks. Okay, this one is called Solaris. I'm not really familiar with it. I don't love the old cover, but it looks way cooler than the new one. Again, they're just going for that notebook effect. I don't like this one. I'm going to have to put this one in C as well. Okay, Twilight. I love that they kept the original long L from the book. I don't really know what that stands for or what it means, but I like it. And I just think that the original with the hands holding the apple is so iconic, and they actually did recreate that in the movie. So I don't know why they couldn't have just taken the shot from the movie and put it on the cover. Instead, they had to do what so many do, where they just have all the floating heads all around it. It's like the exact one from the cover. I will say this one has a special place in my heart, only because when I was younger in middle school and I read Twilight, the one that I happened to read was the movie cover version. So just because of that, I feel like I'm going to have to put it at B, just because something about that era of Twilight and that cover just makes me nostalgic. But you guys can totally disagree with me if you want to. All right, The Book Thief. I recognize this font anywhere. I love the original cover. I've never read it, but I know just the cover made me want to pick it up and read it every time I saw it in the bookstore. The new one, it's bad. It's really bad. Why did they have to change the font so much? It's just a big picture. It tells me literally nothing about the book, and it's not appealing, like, at all. So I'm actually going to put this one at J.K. Rowling as well. Okay, we only have one row left. Okay, I want to put The Fault in Our Stars. I actually love the movie cover better. I'm glad that they kept the original, like, kind of childish looking chalkboard font. I do like that the original cover had this kind of like black and white speech bubbles, and I think they were supposed to represent the okay theme that goes on throughout the book. But something about this cover and this movie poster is very aesthetically appealing. Like, they did a really good job at photographing it. And I'm glad that they kept the colors and the font and the same font style there, and with John Green's name at the top as well. So I'm going to have to put this one at S tier as well. Okay, for The Great Gatsby, I actually, you guys might be surprised with this one, but I actually like both of them a lot. I know that people didn't love the movie and it was very over the top, but I actually really liked it because the style that it was going for, like, these people were supposed to be the uber wealthy, and they were so gaudy, and there was like gold everywhere. And this cover definitely did a good job of like bringing that 20s aesthetic into the modern world, into the modern era. I do wish that the eyes were somehow on it, because the eyes are like a big motif that goes throughout it. But I actually love it for what it is, and I'm going to put it at A tier. Okay, Narnia. I actually love the old book cover. The movie cover, not so much. They basically just took the main characters from it and put them doing action poses, stylized in a really weird way around it. I'm going to put this one at C tier. The Martian, again, love the original cover. I actually don't hate the new cover. I think they did a good job of making it artistic and stylized, just like the close-up of the face, kind of doing what Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close did. They actually took the main actor and made it artistic. So I don't love it quite as much as S tier ranking, but I am going to put it at A tier. Okay, The Road. This book was really good. I haven't seen the movie, but the cover just does not... It's like a post-apocalyptic, rough novel, and the cover does not do it any justice. I'm glad people found this and liked it, and I found it, but I actually think I found it because I liked the book version, the movie version of the book better, and that's the one I read. So I think I'm going to actually have to put this one also at A tier. Okay, Water for Elephants. Haven't read this one. I actually started this one, and it just wasn't for me. but I did watch the movie. I don't think the movie cover does it justice at all of the original one. The original one has just something mysterious about them walking through this dark circus tent. The only thing I do think they did a good job of is like keep maintaining the font, but I don't know why they didn't do the little wavy version of elephants on the movie version as well. I'm actually going to put this one at C. Okay, Maze Runner, I'm going back and forth with this one. The original one was pretty good. The movie one did a good job of bringing a little more cinematic elements to what the maze looks like. And I also kind of like the font better on the movie one. I don't love that the people are in it, but I feel like you're just inevitably going to get that from these. So I actually think I'm going to put this one at B. Okay, the one and only Ivan. Oops, I accidentally swapped these. That's okay. I think so this one on the right is the original. I love it. It looks so cool. And then the movie version just looks like a bad documentary. That's what it looks like to me. I don't like it whatsoever. I'm actually going to put this one at J.K. Rowling as well. Okay, and last but maybe least, I'm just kidding. Last but not least is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. We were talking about this. I did not like the movie, and I actually weirdly never read this one. I read so many of the young adult novels when they were coming out, because these were all around when I was in middle school and high school that these were coming out, and I never somehow got around to reading this one. But I didn't like the movie at all. For some reason, it was one of those ones that like every time the teacher was going to put on a movie, this one they put on, and it was like, so I've seen it like 6 times and I didn't like it a single time. However, I think the colors and the way he's holding the lightning actually look pretty cool on this, and they're not showing the main actor as like the focal point. They are, but they're not showing his face. They're not doing it for the attention of the actor themselves. So I think I might actually put this one at B as well. Okay, well that is all 40-something of these movie tie-in book covers that I could find ranked. I think, honestly, my favorite of all of these is going to have to be Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Mostly just because I think they did such a good job of translating that book cover and the meaning behind it into the book, into the movie version of the book. I think close second might honestly be Hunger Games, because I like that they included the same symbolism. They just made the cover look a little bit cooler than the original one without actually trying to make it look like it's just an ad for the movie. In terms of worst ones, I love the Annihilation original cover, so that one just seems like such a travesty that they had to put that really horrible one on the movie version. Same with the Ella Enchanted one. Same with all these in the bottom. They're just all so bad. But I think I'm just going to have to give it to Annihilation just based on looking at the first one, the original versus the movie one. There's just really no comparison. Okay, if you were watching in the live, thank you so much for sticking around. I had fun. I'm glad that I'm changing up my videos a little bit and doing something new. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I am also gonna be turning this into an edited YouTube video that will probably go live next Friday. So if you want to look out for the edited version of it, I'll probably do is like show, as I'm talking about it, I'll also show the book cover just so it's not quite as like small and tiny and pixelated. So definitely look out for that if you enjoyed this one. And as always, thank you so much for watching and for discussing and for interacting with the live. And I will see you all in my video on Friday, where I'll be redesigning videos I'll see you in my video that's coming out Friday, where I will be giving modern logos, vintage redesigns. So if you are here for the logo content instead of this kind of content, then this Friday you'll get a video about design. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you